What's up, everybody? Walter Benaziak here, and I'm here to review the Power Rangers movie. I guess it's just called Saban's Power Rangers. Just got back from the theater. Was wearing that thing there. I wore the whole get up, so that was pretty fun. Got a lot of looks and a lot of interesting conversations with people because I was wearing that costume. So I'm going to be going into spoilers about this whole movie. So this is your spoiler warning. If you want non-spoilers, I'll just say it. If you're a Power Ranger fan, I'd still say go see it. Go see Saban's Power Rangers. I think that you would probably have a good time still. So let me get into my thoughts on this. Okay. So, did I like it? Yes and no. This was a mixed bag for me, for sure. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's get into it. So, what I was concerned about going in, the thing that concerned me the most wasn't really anything tone-wise or anything like that. I just really hated the look of the suits and the Zords and everything, and Zordon's face on the wall. I just hated the way everything looked. The only thing I really liked was Rita's new design, which just still looks really good in the movie. So I was hoping that when I was watching it, I could just forget all that and it would just match up with the movie, and that did happen. So I didn't really have a problem. It actually looked pretty good in the movie. I was like, I bought into the new suits and the new look of everything pretty well, way more than I thought I was going to. So that was fine. That's not the problem that I had with it. Things that I liked about it, let's talk about that first. Love Billy. Billy is by far the best thing about this movie. He is fantastic. I don't have the actor's name in front of me, but he was wonderful. Phenomenal job by him. Really like Jason. The actor there did a really good job as well. And their relationship, Billy and Jason, sort of start off the movie, the two Rangers that are sort of talking to each other first, and they're pretty good together. Like they have some really good chemistry. Kimberly was pretty solid. They did really force a few things with her. She was okay. You can tell that she's a good actress, but it seems like she was kind of unpacking a lot at really rushed moments. So I think that actress is better than the material she was given. So, but Kimberly as a character, pretty decent. Not too bad. I really liked Trini. Trini, I think, stood out from the group really well. She's kind of the rogue of the group. And she was really solid in that role. I thought she was very good. So those are the four, and then we have Zach. So I know that this guy who's playing Zach he's 29 years old. He's not like a high school age guy or just out of high school like a lot of these guys are like in their early 20s in the Power Ranger group here. He was a big fan of Power Rangers growing up. I know that because I've seen interviews with him, and I was really excited that, like, all right, we have someone who represents me. I'm 28, so this is like the guy of my age, like, representing our generation in the Power Ranger movie. That is freaking awesome. But man, I hate to say it, but I really, really didn't like him. Borderline hated him. I'm sorry. Zach in the original show, Walter Jones playing Zach, was the most energetic part of the show. He was the most likable Ranger, like easily the most charismatic, and just when you see him, it's just like very inviting person, and you liked him the most. Even though Jason was my favorite, obviously, Zach was like the most likable guy on the show, and you could see yourself in real life being friends with that guy. Zach is a douchebag in this movie, with no real discernible characteristics other than he's crazy, oh, crazy girl, crazy. He's the one who Billy kind of finds the power coins, but then he like chisels into the thing like out of nowhere, and everyone's like, what are you doing? He's like, just chisel in and get the power coin. I thought he was a douchebag the whole time. There's a point where the Mastodon, he like jumps into the Mastodon ahead of everyone else and slams through, I guess, which is the command center / cave thing, and like he gets out and's like, get out of the way, leader boy. Jason like turns around, punches him in the face. I was like, yes, I want more of that. Get him in line or something. He didn't really have too much of an arc. They gave him this thing with his mom, but that didn't really affect him very much. There's a scene where they're all talking around a campfire, and that's where everyone is supposed to like give their big moment that they're supposed to be a team. And Zach is terrible in that scene. He's like, oh yeah, my mom, love my mom, and he like yells, and it's just the most awkward scene for him, and it just does not work well to humanize him or anything like that. It just makes him come off as more of a douchebag and not a great actor. And I hate to say that, man, because I was really pulling for that guy as a member of that generation that I'm a part of, who grew up the show as a really young kid. So that let me down a lot. But other things I liked in the movie. The team, besides Zach, the team for the most part I really liked together. They worked really well off each other, and they really spent a lot of time building up the team, which I really enjoyed. The Rita and Zordon backstory, phenomenal, great. They're going after the Zeo Crystal, which slightly concerns me because it's like, are they already going to jump in the next movie? They're going to be Zeo Rangers now or something, or I don't think they're going to do that, but it kind of seems like they're already building up towards that, which I'm like, you guys don't need to do that. But the Zeo Crystal being like the MacGuffin of this movie is like, okay, that's fine as long as you don't like jump ahead really quick. So yeah, the thing with Zordon is like he was the leader of his own Power Rangers team back like millions of years ago, and Rita was a part of that team. She was the original Green Ranger. Great idea. So that backstory was great. Alpha was hilarious. I guess the real one quick thing, I didn't like and this was something from the trailers, I still don't like the wall Zordon, the pin art Zordon. I still think that's lazy and just looks stupid. But it didn't affect me too much because the character of Zordon had flaws and was very interesting in here, much more than the original show. He had a lot more layers to him, which I really appreciated, so that was cool. But yeah, the Rita and Zordon backstory and everything, that was fun to see. Rita herself, I like the idea of this Rita. I like that she's just batshit crazy, like that. Elizabeth Banks, she was probably the wrong choice to play her because there are actresses and actors who can do that crazy thing, and it's either charming or like oh man, this person's really crazy. Elizabeth Banks was doing the crazy thing, and just it didn't work. It just didn't work. For her, but the idea of the character and her manic personality I like, and she is kind of scary at a few points. They really build up some frightening scenes with her, but yeah, I don't think Elizabeth Banks was the right choice for Rita. And I do think Elizabeth Banks is a really good actress, just didn't seem to fit well here. They need someone who just could go batshit crazy, and you can buy into that, and I just really didn't buy into it from her. But other things I liked, when like the Zord fight was fun. I liked it. The Megazord looks better on screen than it does in the toys and stuff. It looks kind of cool. I like, all right. The fight was fun at the end. It was cool. So, and the whole first third of the movie, the first act is really strong. I think it starts to fall apart a little bit. Right before that big campfire scene. So, yeah, let's get into the negatives here. So, alright. Where to begin? Overall, I'll just say again that I did enjoy aspects of the movie, and I do think you should see it if you're a Power Rangers fan, and there's a good chance you'll love it. I just didn't feel that way. I definitely didn't love it. I did like some of it. So things I didn't like. Besides Zach being the big character standout that I didn't like, the Goldar thing, I was always like kind of like, I don't know. Goldar was a really cool, fun character in the original series, especially in the first season. He was the main threat that the Rangers always fought because Rita didn't fight. And besides all the monsters, the mainstay villain was Goldar, and his rivalry with Jason and Tommy was great. And seeing him diminish to just like, he's just a melting gold giant, like, that's still kind of disappointing. But not like the biggest problem I had with it. I would be lying to you if I sit here and said, like, this was just as a movie, not just Power Rangers fans or anything, just as a movie, if I was judging it, I can't sit here and say with a straight face that this was a good movie. I have to say it wasn't a good movie. It had a lot of promise, a lot of potential that they kind of squandered as the movie went on. things were built up for so long, yet still felt rushed when the Rangers finally went after Rita and everything. Certain things didn't feel earned, like they really rushed in some character moments, like I was talking about with Kimberly admitting to Jason that she's a terrible person because she texted out like a sexy picture of her friend or something like that. Just little elements like that are kind of like, well, that could have been handled better, and especially the thing with Zach on the campfire was like, so that irked me for sure. So as a movie, I can't say it was very good. I can't say it was a good movie, but as a Power Rangers movie, just to have fun with it and everything, and the whole turn your brain off thing, and just as a Power Rangers fan, I liked it somewhat. Let's get to the fan service parts. So, okay, look, the cameo thing. There at the end of the Zord fight, we see Jason David Frank and Amy Jo Johnson, Kimberly and Tommy, the original Green and Pink Ranger. We get those cameos, and they're like looking up and taking pictures, like taking pictures, of what's happening. We've seen. I hate to keep throwing this back to Marvel here, but we've seen great Marvel cameos from Stan Lee for a long time, so we know what makes a good cameo. Those were weak ass cameos, man. Come on. You can't throw a little bone to those two or a couple more of the original Rangers. Like, give them a line, a funny line, like a wink at the camera or something. Not literally, but some kind of thing where it's like, we were the original Rangers, like, kind of like, do something clever. I mean, just haven't taken pictures. Like, come on, man. So that kind of was a little upsetting. Not using the frickin' theme song. They did for a split second. When the Zords were charging towards Goldar, so that was like, but it was like the movie theme, like the 95 movie theme, which is not the original TV theme. That's like a nitpick, but still. And it was literally for like 3 seconds. It's like, go, go, Power Ranger! And they were just there, like, okay. And then in the credits, they played an orchestral version of the theme song. Like, why wasn't this in the movie? There's a moment when they kind of get forced down into like this pit of fire that Goldar has created when he's trying to dig out the Zeo crystal, and that kind of mirrors the show when the Zords sometimes go up and come down from that fire and everything, and they come back up as the Megazord, and like that was the moment you could have put the Go-Go Power Rangers, either the actual theme song or that orchestral version, which sounded really good in the credits. Why didn't you put that there? That was the perfect moment, and you guys didn't do it. So that was. Just as a fan of the original show and everything, I was just like, what the hell? Like, this was built up. I thought like the whole movie was going to be building up to that theme, and we're going to finally get that theme with a big fight, and they didn't do that. Like, the theme is maybe the most iconic part of the show. Why didn't you put it in the movie? Why wasn't it front and center at a part, That was upsetting, just as a Power Rangers fan. They tease Tommy at the end. We're like, Tommy Oliver, and they show the empty desk, and there's a green jacket on the desk, and it's like, okay, we're going to see Tommy in the sequel, I think. So we'll see what happens. But I didn't hate it or anything. I didn't, despise it. Some things, irked me or let me down a little bit. But it didn't piss me off. It's not that bad, the stuff that I didn't like. If you're a Power Rangers fan, I still think you'll enjoy it. I did enjoy it. I still think it was fun. But I do think that they were really onto something with that first act, where things were like, this could seriously be a really good movie. Like, they could do this. And then it just kind of fell apart, and then it was sort of at a level below that, where I was like, okay, it's not going to be a good movie, but I could still enjoy it, and that's what I did. Hopefully it makes a lot of money. Hopefully we get a bunch of sequels out of it. I don't care if it's, great or just mediocre at this point, because I want some more Power Rangers stuff on this level. I think there's a ton of potential for some really good stories going forward. There's a lot of really good groundwork laid. The stuff with Zordon is great. Him being more of a flawed character, I love that, and him arguing with Jason, and he's not a perfect guy. Fantastic, love that stuff, and there's a lot of room to go with that in the future. So we'll see what happens going forward with all that stuff. But I do think that there is potential to grow, and there's potential to make this the sequels even better and get them up to snuff to where they should be. to be just being good movies. So these, like I said, this is just first impressions still. So it's like I'm still kind of processing stuff, but I think this is where I'm going to be at. I might see it again, but we'll see. So if you're a Power Rangers fan, you'll probably really like it. I mean, I did really like some parts. And overall, I liked it more than I disliked it, but it's like 51-49 on that. As a movie by itself, not very good, especially with the efforts we've seen, once again, from Marvel and other superhero movies that have come out recently, especially with Logan just coming out. What a great movie that was for a superhero film. This is just not up to snuff as a superhero film. It's not really campy. There's a couple campy moments, like wink wink moments, but it's not like the original show, and we all knew that going in. So it's kind of in this middle of the road thing where I kind of think they have to commit more to a tone, but I don't want them to go in the darker tone. I kind of want them to have a little bit more fun in this next one. So we'll see what happens. I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Green with Evil saga adapted into the movie. So we'll see what happens with that. What did you think of Saban's Power Rangers is the official title? What did you think of the movie? Do you want to see more? Do you agree or disagree with me here? Let me know in the comments. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Follow me on Twitter at awesome_Walter. And I'll talk to you guys more about it on there. But I didn't hate it. Didn't like it all that much. But did like a decent amount of it. So I'm just very in between on it. But I do think you should see it if you're a Power Rangers fan. So go check that out. It's still worth seeing, and it's fun seeing Power Rangers on the screen again. Just really could have heard that theme for a little while, but whatever. Oh, by the way, sorry about the lateness on the Samurai Jack review. I've just been super busy with top 5. Biggest top 5 I've ever done coming out on Tuesday, so I've been working on that a lot. So hopefully I'll be able to get the new Samurai Jack review out to you guys. The next 2, hopefully, within the next couple days here. And I'll talk to you guys soon. And it's morphin' time, guys. Go see the movie.